these headlines?
Scott, this is a massive move by the Fed coming into the markets in a very big way. I don't remember anything like this, approaching this in terms of putting $500 billion in a 3-month repo operation. And then they're going to come back tomorrow with looks like another $500 billion. I believe that's $1 trillion. I believe that's in addition to what they're already doing. Flooding the zone is understating what it looks like they're doing right here. And I'll quote from the release, Scott, they're saying, these changes are being made to address highly unusual disruptions in Treasury financing markets associated with the coronavirus outbreak. And we had heard earlier today that there were pretty bad disruptions in the Treasury markets, Scott. We've been talking about that all week. We heard it worsen today. I was talking to several senior officials at investment banks, and they were saying the Federal Reserve needed to come in some way. I don't know if this will be considered sufficient, Scott, but I will tell you, everybody is waiting in just about 2 minutes for that 30-year auction to see how it goes. It's expected to go well. We'll see if it tails off. We'll see if it's all taken down. But that's the next big test with the Federal Reserve coming in a massive way into the repo market here.
Can we call this, Steve, is it fair to call this the first bazooka in all of this has been shot by the Fed? I mean, there are some who are saying that the Treasury needs to launch one, too, and that the federal government itself needs to come in with some stimulus. But would you characterize this as that?
I think bazooka understates it. I have to go back and look at my history of other actions by the Federal Reserve, but this looks 4 or 5 times bigger than I've seen in the past. Of course, the Treasury market is 3 times larger than it was back in 2008. So there's more paper out there that the Fed has to offset. But I don't know, when they're talking about major artillery here, I think bazooka might be an understatement. Or if my math is right here, Scott, $1 trillion of money into the overnight market here on in 2 separate 3-month operations, 500 and 500.
Wow, Steve, big news. Thank you for coming to the phone. Stocks are certainly attempting to rally off of it. They're still down sharply, but
Scott.
Yes, yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Sorry, here. One other line I just picked up: 3-month and 1-month repos will be for $500 billion will be offered on a weekly basis for the remainder of the monthly schedule. And I got to start doing the math as to how much they're putting in, but they're putting a lot in, it looks like, right here.